Okay, I get asked by women all the time for tips and strategies for how to move their health forward, how to make progress on their weight loss journeys, right? And when I'm talking to them, I see all of these mistakes that they reveal to me about what they're doing and what's happening that takes them down the wrong path. And so I want to talk to you today about the biggest mistakes that I see women make in their health journey, on these weight loss journeys that they want to embark on, and really just kind of hit the nail on the head with what I see going on with you on your journeys and what I see going on in the health and weight loss industry out there based on social media posts and all the so called influencers and just in the big business of weight loss too, because that industry, I think, is wrong in its thinking and it's wrong in its marketing. And in a lot of ways, it's super unethical and takes advantage of women like me who are in our 50s and really struggling with how to lose weight with our changing bodies, our busy lifestyles, and it's just it's icky to me. So today I'm going to kind of take this not positive sort of approach and talk to you about the things that I see that you're doing wrong or you may be doing wrong. So take this as a precautionary tale, I guess, or as a come to Jesus kind of talk with like, this is what you're doing and this is what you need to stop doing if you're truly committed to your own health. One thing that I think is a huge mistake that I see a majority of the women who come to me and become clients, or even the women who I talk to who aren't clients yet, one of the biggest mistakes I see them make is they think that there's just like this one thing that they're doing wrong, or this one thing that they could find as the magic bullet to fix all of their problems, right? And so let me give you a couple of examples. Women will come to me and say, Do you sell meal plans? Will you give me a meal plan? I think I just need, if I just knew what to eat every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, then I would be fine. Or do you just have a list of how to increase my protein? Like, I know that the only thing I really need to do is increase my protein, or just give me workouts. Do you just sell workouts? And the thing is, none of those tactics and isolation are going to work. It's just not true that there's only one thing missing from your life that's going to fix everything about this struggle of time during perimenopause and menopause. Now, it doesn't mean that things have to be super complicated for you to get where you want to be, but one thing is not going to solve this complex issue that you're dealing with that involves hormones and your metabolic functioning and your gut health and the emotional roller coaster that you can be on oftentimes during this stage in life, the brain chemistry changes that happen, the sleep disruptions. It's a complex issue, and so it takes much more than just one strategy to fix it. The second thing that I see is you're just using the wrong approach. I mean, if you've been following me for any time at all, you know that I am not a supporter of these popular kinds of diets that are, or any of these programs and plans that are out there and that have become really popular because, frankly, they're just the same old restrictive, depriving kinds of approaches that are being renamed, with this fancy name that they're slapping on it to sell you. For example, intermittent fasting, keto, prepackaged kinds of programs, the new Nutrisystem, Optavia or Optivio, whatever, however you pronounce it, is another one that I've seen a lot of. And even I will put in this category, taking the new semaglutide shot. I've talked about semaglutide. There is a whole episode on that and how I think that it can be a useful tool as part of an overall strategy for people. But by and large, the approaches that women are buying into these days are just completely wrong-headed. They are not going to solve the approach. They do not account for the metabolic changes that are happening at this stage of life with our health. And it's this kind of an approach, this restrictive sort of diet approach is not going to get you the healthy results that you tell me that you want. And so just to kind of sum that up, what I mean by that is whether it's intermittent fasting or it's a prepackaged food or even with a shot, the thrust behind that program is to get you to eat a whole lot less. And when you eat a whole lot less, you are depriving and restricting yourself of the nutrients that you need. And at this stage in life, your metabolic function is not going to respond to that. It is your metabolism is going to continue to adapt. It's going to get further compromised, and you are fighting a losing battle at that point. And ultimately, you will not win the war doing that. Okay. I also see a huge problem with women who say they want to get healthy, who say they want to change their lifestyle, but you're resorting to the same old kind of quick fix tactics that are not accounting for real life. Okay. So a lot of women enter the stage of life, and I understand you want to get results. And I've said this a million times over. If you do not use an approach that fits into your lifestyle, your real busy life, something that you can sustain forever, there is no use in you using that tactic or that approach to get to your goals, because you'll never maintain the weight loss. You'll never stay there. You will always gain it back and then some. Okay. A woman messaged me recently and she said, I'm eating healthy and I'm just not getting anywhere. Well, it's more than just eating healthy. It's more than just upping your protein. It's more than, just doing this sort of quick fix kind of thing. Like I said, that you're not going to be able to sustain for the long term. I think another huge problem that I see, a big mistake that I see women making, is not accepting that this transitional state of life has put you in a whole different complex struggle. It's not the same as when we were 25 and we wanted to drop 10 pounds or 15 or 20 pounds. It's just not that simple. There's a whole different level of expertise and support and strategy that's required to get results now. And I think you're doing yourselves a disservice by thinking, well, I just need to go back to cutting calories. I just need to get used to not eating a lot. It's not just about food and fitness. It's not just about cutting calories. You need to accept that our bodies, our hormones, and our metabolisms are completely different at this stage of life. And it's going to take a more strategic approach and a long-term approach to solving this problem if you truly want to get the weight off and keep it off. Okay. And this kind of parlays into the next thing is, I see women make the big mistake of thinking this is a short-term journey versus a long-term journey. Okay. So women tell me that they want to be healthy. They want to lose the weight as part of being healthy, but they tell me that ultimately they're more focused on being healthy now than a number on the scale, or just weight loss. And I think that that's an amazing perspective, but I almost feel like sometimes you say that to me because you think that's what you're supposed to say, that's the right answer, right? Because even sometimes when women become my clients early on, they go right back into that short-sighted kind of thinking and they focus on the scale. And what happens is when you're like only focused on your short-term results and only focused on the weight loss and getting into, your bathing suit this summer, you're not taking into account health from the perspective of not only getting to the goals that you have now and how you want to look and feel now, but also the very real goals that you have for living a long, healthy, active life. I say all the time that the approach that I take with clients is, sure, it's about getting to the weight loss and health goals that you have now, the immediate goals the things you want to achieve in the 3 to 6 months coming up. But the approach that I take with helping you to get there is also a healthy, preventative approach to life and longevity. It is about being 75, 80, 85, and slipping on the tile, getting out of your shower and having a bruise instead of a broken hip. There's a lot to be said for that. And you know that, but so often I see women make a mistake of still resorting to that immediate short-term kind of focus. Another huge problem that I see, and I think we're up to number 6 now, is that I can do it on my own. The approach or the thought that you can just take a whole bunch of information because you're smart and you have had a lot of success in life. And so I get it. Like, you think you can just kind of throw together a lot of different strategies and wing it and get there on your own. And a lot of women will do things like follow a lot of, Instagram fitness influencers or listen to a lot of podcasts, and they'll like cherry pick tips, right? Like, I'm going to eat more protein. I'm just going to walk with a weighted vest because, that's what the couple of popular people are saying now. I'm going to just take this supplement. And if I do these 2 to 3 sorts of things, then I can do this on my own. I'm smart. I'm successful. I can make this happen. And you and I know that it's more than that. If just increasing protein, walking with a weighted vest, and taking, magnesium made you healthy, made you fit, got you into a bikini and jeans that you absolutely loved and made you confident and healthy, then everybody would be doing it. It wouldn't be an issue, right? I wouldn't even have a business. We know that it takes a strategic process and sustained, strong support to get you from where you are now to where you want to be in a body and with the health that you absolutely love and are confident about, and know that you have the energy and the vitality to do anything that you want. Finally, I think a huge mistake women make is not investing in coaching support and mentorship. That's one of the biggest roadblocks that I see women create for themselves. I cannot tell you how many hundreds of conversations I have on a weekly basis where women come to me and say, like, I have to solve this. And they tell me all the pains and the struggles that this is creating in their lives, their personal lives, for their mental health, in their professional lives, with their relationships, with how horrible their self-esteem is, how they have no energy. They tell me all these terrible struggles that they're having that are impacting them in such negative ways. And then they talk themselves out of getting mentorship and investing in my coaching or any type of coaching. And the reality is that you need expert, strong, sustained support, the right strategy for the struggles that you're having now, for the body that you have now, for the metabolism that you have now, if you want to actually and truly commit to getting where you want to be. I have invested in coaches and mentorships for every step of the way at different journeys for the last 10 years, starting with my health journey and my mental health and physical health journey. And then moving into, once I felt that I had conquered that and became, strong to stand on my own and really created a new identity of health in my life, then I moved to what were my next goals. And when I started this business, I hired a business coach right off the bat. I did not start this business without hiring someone to mentor me who had been where I was and struggled and overcome the obstacles in creating a business and become super successful, that I felt very aligned with, on a value basis and an ethical basis. Hired that person. And I have continued to hire coaches and mentorships every step of the way for goals that are truly meaningful to me and that enhance my quality of life and my family's quality of life. You absolutely have to do that at different stages of life. And those coaches and that mentorship will look different at different stages. But what I hear from you is you believe in mentorship, you believe in quality guidance when it has to do with your kids, your family, your financial future, your professional career, but you don't invest in your health like you've invested in your education, your career, and your family. And if you want to get to where you want to be with your health, physical and mental, with your body, with your confidence, with your future, then you absolutely have to treat it with the same value that you treat those other things and invest in it. So I hope this was helpful. It's a little bit different kind of episode, but I've gotten so many questions around so many of these topics, and I hear so much of this in conversation. I see the mistakes that you're making over and over and over. And so I thought this would be helpful to put these things kind of in categories that I see come up all the time because it's a pattern. And the only way to break out of negative patterns is to hear them, recognize them, acknowledge them, and have the information so that you can, the only way you do better is when you know better, you do better, right? And so I've given you the know better information today. I hope that it resonates with you, and I hope that it helps you to do better too. Thanks for being here with me.